Let's go. It's Friday morning. You know what that means. Operation Football here on 13 Sunrise. It's week 2. We're ready for it. Very excited too, especially for our Lebanon Tigers that are going to represent very soon.
Yes, we are ready. We are excited to see you, Lebanon. And like we mentioned, we're going to tease to maybe who we could go see next week too.
Tigers.
Yeah.
We've seen some stars. That's who they're playing.
Okay,
There
yeah.
we go.
And if they're anything like Lebanon, if they just do really well in voting, it was really exciting to see how all of the schools showed up. And I like that we do this and give people a chance to have a say about who we see on Friday mornings.
Yeah, and thank you guys at home for waking up with us here on this Friday morning. I'm Sam in for Julia today, along with Julia and Matt and Dom will join us here in just a few minutes.
I'll tell you what, Patrick, our camera guy, did you see the shot he did?
Yeah, I did. That was pretty
setup,
smooth, man.
the
We
trophy.
like
Good
that.
job,
Yeah.
Patrick. Great work.
Because we were saying how the trophy just keeps getting bigger and bigger, so we had to get creative about how we show it off this morning. Yeah.
We've got a great morning for you. Dom's going to be here in just a moment. We'll be talking with him. Great morning if you're headed out there this morning. It's not too cold. You'll be all right.
Oh.
And a beautiful forecast is on their way. Thanks, Patrick. We're in the low 50s right now, closer to Lebanon, but some of us outside of Indianapolis are in the 40s this morning, especially east and to the north. It's 48 right now in Connorsville. We're about the same in Kokomo and Richmond this morning. Right now in Indianapolis, we're sitting in the upper 50s, but it's not a bad morning. We're a little bit warmer than yesterday morning, just by a touch. But it is cool, headed off towards the north. 45 now in Muncie, down to 50 in Noblesville, 52. Good morning for the Lebanon Tigers. It's going to be the battle for Boone County here later tonight. 51 in Zionsville, Carmel, and Fishers. Good morning in Martinsville. We're sitting at 56, 51 degrees right now in Connorsville. I think all the 60s are out of here. 57 in Bloomington, 56 reporting in Bedford. We've had a front come through the past 24 hours. It's been slow. It's been week 2. It's just pausing our warm-up that we've been trying to bring the past couple of days. But higher pressure is moving in, giving us some of the quietest weather in the whole country for this weekend. It's going to be a quiet Friday, too. A little cool as we're headed out the door. Not bad. 50s out there for many of us, although a few of us are in the 40s. But then by lunch and recess, lots of sun, highs upper 60s, and then we'll get to the 70s later into the afternoon. Beautiful forecast expected today. Coming up, we're going to continue to time this front out for you and let you know how warm things will get for your Labor Day weekend. But let's talk traffic this morning. Some good news to report to you coming in from Hancock County. I-70 westbound lanes, they've cleared up some of the semis that were out there, and now traffic is flowing just fine this morning. But you can see still a little bit of red left over on the map this morning, but it looks like we're doing all right. So good news coming from Greenfield, headed west to Mount Comfort. Samantha.
Matt, thank you. Right now, we are monitoring a water main on the city's northwest side to see if this is going to have any implications on traffic this morning.
See some of those cars driving by splashing up water. This is near 38th and Georgetown. That water is in the road at last check, though it is still open, so cars are able to get by, as you can see.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Though, a lot of water. We'll make sure if anything changes, we keep you updated here on 13 Sunrise.
Well, just 3 months after former Colts owner Jim Irsay's death, a bombshell report from the Washington Post is detailing his final months.
And it's sparking a lot of questions over the investigation, what happened, and the use of luxury doctors. Our Marina Silva is back in studio this morning with some of these details we've learned. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Well, Jim Irsay and the Irsay family were very transparent about his life and his battle with substance abuse. The beloved Colts owner died in May at a hotel in Beverly Hills, California. His death sparked questions over what led to his death, leading reporters at the Washington Post to start looking into what happened. Jim Irsay was very transparent about his life, the struggle he had with substance abuse, so Post reporters spoke with 5 different people who had direct knowledge of his personal life, saying he relapsed multiple times in his final years, and along with opioids, he was receiving ketamine injections from a Dr. Harry Houtian. The Post cites 3 different overdoses since 2020. We spoke to one of the authors of the report who says there's blame to assign across the board.
You know, the Colts misled the public about what was going on with Mr. Irsay over the last 2 years of his life, and the manner in which the team handled his death allows for the possibility that it wasn't sufficiently investigated.
13 News did reach out to the police department. They tell us the investigation is closed. Dr. Harry also did not answer any phone calls yesterday. Now coming up at 6:30, this is sparking a lot of questions about what is ketamine, what is it used for, and what are doctors prescribing it for off label. So we're going to explain a little bit about that to give you an insight about what ketamine is.
And I think that's necessary in the context of this story, Marina, so we'll check in with you soon. And as you said, Jim Irsay and his family had been open for years about his battles with addiction because he wanted to help other people going through similar issues.
He helped start the Colts mental health campaign called Kicking the Stigma, aimed at providing resources for people dealing with troubles with their mental health and just talking about it openly. Since its founding in 2020, Kicking the Stigma has committed more than $30 million to mental health organizations, awareness efforts, and research, giving out more than $7 million in grants to mental health nonprofits. This morning, new court documents reveal how police stopped a suspect accused of stealing an Indiana State Police SUV. In those court documents, investigators say the driver refused to follow troopers' commands as he told them to get out of the SUV. He then used a taser and arrested that driver. The trooper says he then found the officer's gun in the suspect's bag. He also said the suspect admitted to stealing that police car for a joyride. This morning, 4 people are facing charges in connection to a shooting on the east side of Indianapolis that left a woman hurt. This happened back on July 5th on Michigan, not far from Sherman in New York. The 4 suspects were all between the ages of 21 and 38, and police say they allegedly met up after an argument that started on social media. That's when someone fired a gun, hitting another woman standing on her porch. Those people are now facing charges for criminal recklessness and battery.
We're hearing from the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police this morning after a city-county council committee voted no on moving a proposal forward. This would have held parents accountable for curfew violations in Indianapolis. City-county council changed the curfew a few times earlier this year for juveniles after the mass shooting in downtown Indy over the 4th of July weekend. So this proposal would have taken it a step further and would have led to fines against parents. Well, some counselors disagree with that. They say that punishment needs to be more on the kids than their parents. But the FOP president backed that proposal up, releasing this statement saying, quote, "No action is an action by the council, and it will more than likely lead to a reaction from the Indiana State House."
This morning, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Planning Organization is putting nearly $2 million into an intersection that they say has been a trouble spot for years.
We've talked about this intersection before. It's on the Indy South Side on Southport and 5 Points Road. Most of the cost of this project is coming from a nearly $2 million grant. That'll cover about 80% of the cost.
So the goal here is to reduce the number of wrecks and improve traffic at that intersection. DPW and others who work near the area agree that it needs to be fixed.
If there is any construction on interstate, which 65 is right now, and they don't want to deal with that, this is where they go.
We had a 4-year study period for this intersection. In that time period, we've recorded 64 crashes at this intersection.
So construction on the roundabout is expected to start next year. We are more than a year away from the next election, but right now Hoosiers are talking about voting. The League of Women Voters hosted an event last night in Delaware County as leaders there consider vote centers. So the organization's president says this has been in the works for years, but has actually never made it past the finish line. So right now, Delaware County voters have to vote at a specific location on Election Day. Voting centers, though, would allow any person to cast their vote at a center within the county. League President Linda Hansen says voting centers are secure and they give people options, but they're also cost effective.
Because there will not be as many places for people to vote, there won't be as many election workers, and that can reduce the cost for the clerk's office, but that ultimately means tax dollars saved as well.
Okay, so according to the League of Women Voters, 67 of Indiana's 92 counties have voting centers. We should learn if Delaware County will join the list too. The clerk has scheduled a meeting for the election board to vote on September 11th.
This morning, we're taking a look inside of a new school here in Indianapolis.
IPS hosted an open house last night for the Margaret McFarland Learning Academy, and they gave members of the community a chance to meet with school leaders and get a look at how this school is really helping kids.
District leaders say the school is powered by a program called Chance Light, which is designed to assist kids in every area of their life, not just inside the classroom.
We have a collection of teachers and support staff, partnerships with community members like Art Mix and the Indie Yoga that allow us to offer enrichment as well as strong academic instruction in a space where students can also receive therapeutic support and intensive instructional cognitive support.
Those students should be settled in by now. The academy opened its doors to students back on August 4th.
Tonight, the Indiana Fever began their 3-game road trip out on the West Coast.
It started in Los Angeles with the late tip, so the team confirms that they will be without Caitlin Clark. We're getting used to saying that now. She's still recovering from that groin injury. The Fever and the Sparks, they play at 10 o'clock tonight.
So they're coming off a big win. The Fever are here at home against the Seattle Storm earlier this week, so we'll see if they can keep it going in LA.
Then next Tuesday night, you can watch the Fever's game against the Phoenix Mercury right here on Channel 13. That game also tips off at 10 o'clock.
Then you can watch 13 News at 11 on WTHR+, or you can join us after the game right here on Channel 13. Well, let's get back to that story we are following about that water main break. We just got an update from Citizens Energy in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, we've been closely watching this area. They're working this water main break near 38th and Georgetown. You can see why all this water spewing into the street there. Citizens actually confirms that they are working in that location and that they are closing the valves to get this street back to normal.
So here's what you need to know and how this could affect your morning commute. Westbound 38th Street is down to just one lane between Lafayette and Georgetown roads. Of course, again, this is on the northwest side of town. They advise detours if you're headed west. Again, they are monitoring this situation. If anything changes, if we have any new developments, we'll be sure to keep you updated.
We're clear from the rain this morning, looking pretty good. Not clear from the birds. A lot of them are flying south over Indiana right now. We'll have you the estimations coming up. Beautiful football weather expected today. Your Operation Football forecast coming from Brownsburg. We'll have that next.